Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, Red back, and man do I feel like crap. Um, I got sick, unfortunately. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised because my sister and her husband came back from Thanksgiving sick, and I figured because I didn't catch it in the first couple of days I'd be okay, but that's not the case. I caught it like yesterday slash the night before, so I've been in the trenches, struggling. It's been like 5 days since the last chapter, unfortunately, but it did come out. So I'm just doing some quick editing. I actually already started editing. I was so entranced, I just started. I didn't even think about getting the video. But it's fine. I finished it early in the morning and then now it's like afternoon, so I'm doing okay. Also, weirdly my mic settings are being strange. I used to have it at like -4 decibels and then it would bounce it around like -20, -15. And then randomly I just started going at like -30, which is too quiet. So I don't know why it suddenly did that, but it made my philosophy video on writing completely worthless. So I'm gonna have to re-record that. I meant to get to that sooner. I just waiting to feel good enough to do so because it's a lot of talking. Anyways, next chapter came out, 32, getting very, very close to the. It's like the first big arc. What was I looking at? So let's continue. A bunch of clarity things, but that's okay. I don't know why that says his eyed water. His eye. His eye. Oh man, this is why you don't write at 2 and 3 in the morning. Don't do what I do. Let's see. Let's see. Just fix that in here. Close. I did take that. This one is fine. I guess I could. I don't know. These types of like clarifiers are just not always important. Sometimes I like to keep them because I like how they can slow down a sentence or stretch it out. But this might be a case where I don't need to have that. I actually think I like it in this way. I prefer to go in descending order when it comes to like ending a paragraph with sentence length. So I'm gonna keep it as is. I really want to get some food, but I don't feel like driving. Kind of torn. I just missed that. I think that's fine. I know really is one of those words that is hard to justify in a lot of cases as far as like grammatically correct or kind of filling words, but I am okay with it on occasion. I think I only used it twice in this chapter. And this is sort of introspection, so I'm not as worried about what looks. That's fine too. It's inner thought. It's fine. It's I sort of treat that the same as dialogue as far as grammar concerned or related. Yeah, I did that. Uh, let me see. I'm surprised because I used a lot. Maybe I'm just not seeing them yet. It's probably the case. Let me. What do I do? It's fine. Uh, I like how it is. That's fine. I need like a. I don't like using too many like hyphens or dashes and things like that, but this might be a case where it's okay. This is an interruption, so it's fine. Accompanied. I do think the ending was sort of rushed, and I do feel a little bit bad about that, but I was really pushing to get this out because I know that I won't feel good to write for like a day or two, so I just really wanted to get it out before I pushed it back like a week or 8 days. All right, now for pain. It's time to look at the oh, extra ones. I was wondering, understanding, maybe it's just me, but understanding. Okay, dude. Understanding when to capitalize king is sort of. I've got to learn a little bit more about that. Eh? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I get the conciseness in this one, but it's like, I don't like. See what that does. Shook. Also, I don't necessarily believe that adding words to try and fix an error, quote unquote, is like always the right thing to do. Stick to your guns sometimes. I'm just looking at what Grammarly claims is a mistake or an error and making decisions off of how I feel about it. I do want to get the engage. I try to keep engagement always at the max. I might try brief there. I think that's just a matter of word choice. Sometimes word choice is what causes engagement. This chapter, surprisingly to me, did start off at a 92 rating, which I was I did not think it would. I was thinking like an 85. I was really not feeling good about it. But that doesn't mean that it's actually a better chapter than other ones, but it sure made me feel better. I'll tell you that much. Is that the Saurus band come? See what other greens there are. Oh, is it time for semicolon? I think it is. Yes, it is. It's good, man. Let me see. This is probably a clarity thing, just because it's like when you have like a bunch of know how to explain this in a way that makes sense. It's sort of like an illogical statement when you have like, I swore not to not tell you in a way. It's like when you have a bunch of like conflicting things like that make it harder to understand what you're saying. It's usually a clarity issue, and in this case, it's blocking was not the right choice. So blocking was the wrong choice, is what it's trying to emphasize. Which I should probably just switch. I do like how I phrased it, but I do want to avoid confusing anybody or people who might be reading. And on web level, there's plenty who are not native English speakers, is my understanding, and so I don't want to exclude them. That's good. What else we got? Probably just a comma. Yeah. Oh, feels so rough. I hate it. I don't know what it is. It could be like a stomach bug or something, but I was nauseous all of yesterday, and my body aches. I have headaches. I've been getting really cold. I almost threw up. I didn't eat much yesterday. All I have was some Chick-fil-A. Probably shouldn't have had Chick-fil-A. That was not a good idea. My trips to the bathroom have been quite rough as well. I'll leave it at that. That's my look. Chilliness. Always do this. Chilliness. Always do that. Uh, just boop. Mm, screw. Yeah, this is another. It's like Gru is all. Just gotta stop doing. Gru greater. Gru is already kind of emphasizing that they're increasing, so there's just no need for the greater part. It's the engagement aspect of. This is mm, I try doing a. I guess that's fine. This originally I had differing plans on, but I didn't really want to go. I don't know. I sort of wanted to make it a big spectacle, but I was also kind of like, he's had so many spectacles already over the course of the last 30 chapters. Perspective is one of those things that's really hard because for me, I'm writing these chapters, over the course of 3, 4, 5 days. And so there's a lot of time between what's happening for me. But if you were reading straight through the chapters, it's all happening back to back. And that's a hard thing to account for. Well, um, mm, interesting. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, this paragraph gave me some trouble when I was writing it too, because I was just like, I wasn't really sure I wanted to, how exactly to phrase it. Descriptions are complicated. I don't want to. World building is valuable. So spending time describing things and giving a visual for world building is fine. Especially for a location that could be reused or will be pivotal at another point in time. But you also don't want to just overdo it. It's hard to understand the balance of it. Let's see. I think that's fine. I originally had it as this. I changed it for some reason, and like I thought it was better, but I don't know why I did that. Several. I don't want to do this one. I want to do this. Is that the way that it should be done? I guess that might sound a little. Knowing how to type is very helpful when writing. I can't imagine trying to write a novel without being able to type properly. If you've tried that, or if you're in that situation, let me know, because I feel for you. That must be very painful. Out. I want to do without getting up. Okay with that. Delivery is a little rough, but delivery is. Mm-mm. Mm. I don't mind this so much. It's self. Is it's no, it's itself. It's self. No, that's not right. Yeah. Okay. I don't. I don't think there's ever an instance in which that would be like something you. Let's see. Several drain disks. I guess several is unnecessary, which is fair, and I don't really mind stuff behind. Oops, I can't spell. Come on. Here you go. Miley, I will let you out in a second. I have like 3 dogs in my room right now, and they're going extra crazy, but if I don't keep them in here, they're just gonna bark outside, so. Oh my. Would you quit it? What was I doing again? Oh, right. Standard. I mean, normal is probably a more accurate term. Standard's fine. Yeah, I was thinking of making the fight a more of a spectacle and kind of teasing or giving hints as to future powers, abilities, and aspects of the power system. But I just kind of decided to hold off. It's kind of hard to introduce a character. It's some fights between characters with such a disparity can be really hard to navigate because, by all accounts, the main character is just at such a disadvantage that any method they pull out of defeating or succeeding is sort of gimmicky or just like it feels like it came out of nowhere. Miley. And that's kind of how I'm gonna eat some dogs. That's kind of how I felt with this fight. If I did have them go, I I guess I can just say it because it's like it's fine. Originally, I was going to have because I have his irises glow golden, and I was going to have or reveal mana types as a concept, and the idea of being able to acquire other mana types with different effects and strengths and weaknesses. And so I was going to have the character that use or mention, say something kind of cryptic about it, and then use the elven mana type, which would be golden, to put him under a like greater illusion, and that would be kind of like how he would be defeated, so to speak. And then Richter would, of course, find a way to overcome it or something like that. And I just felt like, as cool as it would have been, I don't want him to be too omnipotent, I suppose. I've already had Richter do some pretty strong things or some pretty incredible things relative to what's normal for the system and for people in general. A context that will be given more information as the novel progresses and more stuff is revealed. So I didn't want to make it seem like he's just omnipotent and can kind of just bypass like all of these problems or these strengths, especially since I want Elven Mana to become a pretty big and a pretty important mana type in the future. And so if I did that here, I would just kind of be devaluing the mana type as a whole and its effects, and I didn't really want to do that. The initial introduction of a mechanic or an attack is really important, so I don't want the first one of Elven Mana to just be like, it was alright, it didn't do the job, it failed. And so I decided to make the fight more about still one where Richter had to struggle, and still one where I think the strength of the trickster was displayed, just given on how fast he was and how much mana Richter had to spend to dodge him. But he was still able to defeat him by just being clever with what he did and what he understood and observed. And so it's not like, that the hack and slash fight that people might be looking for, but those will come soon enough. And the big one that I had of that type was sort of against the vines earlier in the chapter, but also against the vines of the Victim Queen in like chapter 22 22-ish, 23. All in all, that's why I decided to change how the fight went. Though I would have liked, also because I don't want to introduce too many mechanics before they actually come into play. I've sort of left plenty of loose ends already for future plots, and so I don't want to add any unnecessary. That would be confusing. Honestly though, I think I've talked enough, and I think I'm pretty happy with where the chapter lies. I don't really know what to do with this paragraph. I like the way it reads, the way I have it punctuated right now, but that's probably incorrect punctuation to begin. I imagine if I used dashes, I could probably do this. I don't really like that though. I think I'll just keep it. The fence though, mm, so that should be fine. I think I'm happy enough as is with the way that it is. I'm not going to worry about the dashes or the things. It's good. Uh, I just say way. I mean, is it really gonna matter that much? Like, I don't like repeating the same. It's fine. I think Pat's fine. It's okay. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I'm gonna lose sleep over feeling awful. All right, I think that'll do it. Thank you for watching. I will hopefully re-record and re-upload the philosophy on writing video within the week. Ideally by like maybe Saturday or Sunday. But I'm going to hopefully try to get better, and then I'll have work if I get better, and then I will maybe have the weekend off, maybe not. We're getting busier as Christmas comes closer, so a little rough. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.